Genesis Behind the Story, Episodes 14 to 16. The night Jacob wrestled with God. Have you ever been so afraid of tomorrow that you couldn't sleep tonight? Imagine knowing the person you betrayed 20 years ago is coming to meet you with 400 men. Is he coming to forgive you or kill you? That was Jacob's reality. But before he could face his brother, he had to face God. Episode 14, Genesis 32. The night that changed God forever. After 20 years away, God tells Jacob to return home. But one fear overshadows everything. His brother Esau, the man he deceived and fled from years earlier. Jacob sends messengers ahead, and they return with frightening news. Esau is coming with 400 men. Convinced the worst is about to happen, Jacob divides his family into two groups, hoping that if one is attacked, the other might survive. He also sends valuable gifts ahead to soften Esau's heart. That night, after everyone has crossed the river, Jacob is left alone. Suddenly, a mysterious man appears, and they wrestle until daybreak. As dawn approaches, the man touches Jacob's hip, dislocating it instantly. Realizing he is in God's presence, Jacob refuses to let go until he receives a blessing. God asks, "What is your name?" Jacob. Then comes a life-changing moment. You shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel. Jacob leaves with a limp, but he also leaves transformed. Sometimes God changes us before he changes our circumstances. Life lessons. God often prepares your heart before your breakthrough. Your greatest victory may come after your hardest struggle. A limp with God's blessing is better than walking without him. Episode 15, Genesis 33. The reunion no one expected. Morning arrives. Jacob sees Esau approaching with 400 men. Expecting revenge, Jacob humbly walks ahead of his family and bows 7 times. Then something amazing happens. Esau runs, not to attack, but to embrace his brother. The two men weep together as years of bitterness melt away in a single moment of forgiveness. Jacob offers Esau the gifts he prepared. At first, Esau refuses, saying he already has enough, but eventually accepts them. Jacob tells him, "Seeing your face is like seeing the face of God." The brothers part peacefully, proving that God can restore relationships that seem beyond repair. Life lessons. Fear often imagines a future that never happens. God can soften hearts we cannot change. Forgiveness brings freedom to everyone involved. Episode 16, Genesis 34. When pain leads to more pain, this chapter takes a tragic turn. Jacob's daughter Dinah is assaulted by Shechem, a local prince, who later asks to marry her. Jacob's sons are furious. Instead of seeking God's wisdom, they deceive the men of the city, requiring them to be circumcised before any marriage can take place. While the men are recovering, Simeon and Levi attack, killing every male in the city. The rest of the brothers plunder everything they own. Jacob is devastated. One terrible sin is answered with even greater violence, leaving the family surrounded by fear and conflict. The chapter reminds us that revenge never heals a wounded heart. Only God's justice can do that. Life lessons. Revenge only creates more suffering. Uncontrolled anger leads to destructive choices. We must trust God to bring justice instead of taking it into our own hands. Final reflection. Genesis 32 to 34 teaches 3 powerful truths. Before God changes your circumstances, he often changes you. Before broken relationships are restored, someone must choose humility. And when life hurts you, your response matters just as much as what happened. Jacob entered these chapters fearful and broken, but he emerged with a new identity, a restored relationship. and a deeper understanding of God's power. Even in moments of tragedy, God continues to work through imperfect people to accomplish his purpose. If this message encouraged you, please subscribe to Stories by Anna, and share this video with someone who needs the reminder that God still changes hearts, restores relationships, and gives strength for every battle.